What's up, gamers? How you doing? This is John, and this is my recap going to the ATG Expo in Waco, Texas, January 21st through 22nd, 2023. And this is the second year the events happened. First year for me to come out to it. Good friends of mine, Christian and Hal, put together, and I do very, very much appreciate having an opportunity to come out to it and having a panel and all that good jazz. For those who are curious what ATG stands for, it means All That Gamester81 Expo. I'm, of course, playing with you guys. This means Anything Goes Expo, and literally tons of stuff to do there. Anything does go, except for orgies. That's probably off the list of things to do here. But anything from modern gaming, you had Smash Brother tournaments here. You had tabletop gaming here. They had a library of board games people could play all weekend. They had artists, various vendors. I picked up plush Pokemon for figures or plushes for my kids, for example. And here's kind of overlook at the vendor hall itself. I know how much work goes into putting an event like this together. I do one out in Phoenix, similar. It's a year-round planning process. This was a really cool room here. They had some touchless arcades. They had some Neo Geos. Back in the corner there, they had Mario Kart Live. I'll take a look at that and hear more closely in a second. They had disc golf. They had laser tag. And back in this room here, so a little bit different than you would find at a typical gaming expo. It's more than just gaming. They had anime stuff. They had some really cool guests as well. Here's kind of a look at their vendor hall, closer look. And you can see they had some really cool artists here. This was a cool artist. They had like wood engravings, which is awesome. A couple of look at some of their guests. They had the voice of Charlie Brown and Lucy there, like the original from like the 1970s, which is cool. And they did a panel. And here's more artists that they had. Here's a look at their video game console area. Hal does this pretty much all around the country as well. Puts together the Retro World Series, and they had a Tetris tournament here. So the Tetris, this is awesome to see, and they had a pretty decent turnout for it, and they were doing it pretty much all weekend. There's Mario Kart Double Dash, which is one of my favorite Mario Karts, honestly, for the GameCube. I can't really see the image there, but people were playing Hyper Fighting, which is actually a Street Fighter 2 port for the Virtual Boy. People had it, and they had modded joysticks there, and what's awesome, they had it hooked up to the projector. Kind of hard, the camera doesn't really pick it up, do it justice, but that was really cool. One of my favorite sections of the show was this old school Macintosh area, and look at these e-machines, right? It was so cool playing this game, so fun to play. I mean, seriously, Quake is such a fun game to play multiplayer, land it up, awesome. They had some really old cool Apple IIs there. I was playing Oregon Trail, went through the Oregon Trail. I'm sad to say one of my sons died. I got really sick, infected, and malaria, or died of some crazy disease. But we made it to the Oregon Trail. We crossed the river, made it through. Happy to say. What's also very cool about this place is they had a lot of variety of just different vendors here, right? Which is really cool to see. Cool music guests. Here's Sergio and the holograms. Super impressed. I'll show you in a second what he has to offer. But Sergio's a good friend of mine as well, coming from, I believe he lives in Portland now. Was in California. Here's a look at his game. This is a cartridge playing on a Nintendo. You can see here, but this is a music video, literally playing through the Super Nintendo. You can pause it, slow it down. The audio, you can't hear it in the video, but the audio sounds legit, like CD quality music. It's incredible what kind of chips they have. He did a Kickstarter, I think, a while back on that, or Indiegogo, and he's just waiting for the chips from China, pretty much. But it's super impressive what they've been able to do on the original Nintendo hardware. I mean, it's incredible. Here's a cool vendor, had a bunch of retro games, Nintendo, GameCube, Super Nintendo. There's some box Nintendo games there. I see Turtles, I spot Turtles there, which is cool. Here's some Pops, of course, super popular. More artists, some plushes. This guy had some really cool 3D printed stuff, which is awesome. He had a huge dragon, which was all 3D printed. Very cool, and that they move. They're very mobile, which is awesome to see. So, again, a very nice mix of local vendors, which is cool. This guy had shields and masks. Some more artists. I like the turtles there. Again, kind of a turtle reference there. And you got some cool anime. Some Pops, which are enormously popular, of course. Here's some tabletop stuff. Let's have some books and things like that. more anime stuff. This is the vendor I purchased a couple Pokemon plushes, and the ones that they were actually imported from Japan. So my kids are huge into Pokemon, so super excited to pick them up. And there's a couple of plushes. I picked up a couple of those. Not cheap because they were imported from Japan, but my kids really loved them, absolutely. Always appreciate the local artists. And here's some more. That screen there, they did have some tournaments up there at the stage. They did have some live music. They had the cosplay contest as well, going through local cosplay groups, right? So they had the 501st, their local, which were representing for sure. They had the local Ghostbusters cosplay groups. It was a charity groups. A lot of local towns have them, which is cool. And check this out. Those are awesome, like Muppets or puppets. Really cool. Star Wars, obviously huge fan of Star Wars and Ghostbusters. They had like the Ecto-1 there. And some more. It looks like they had a G.I. Joe group. I really see really good, strong things for this event. They had a lot to do. There was really, it's a 2-day event, and everyone who I talked to attending-wise had a lot to do. This is really cool. This is a Mario Kart Live. Christian set this up. He built this track, and I think he had like 4 or 5 cars, and pretty much they were able to play Mario Kart Live there, which I think is a really great idea. And not only that, but he repainted some of the cars. So he did like Wario, which was orange or yellow. He did Waluigi, which was purple. And it was, if you ever played Mario Kart Live, very, very cool. And to play with people there, very cool idea. And it was awesome to see. The last thing I want to show you is they did have live music. Here's Sergio and the holograms coming up. And if you haven't seen him live, he's incredible. Literally a one-man band. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate subscribing. Let me know what you guys think. We'll see you guys soon. Take care. And of course, game on.